Welcome to Story for Sleeping, where we close our eyes and walk through forgotten worlds. Tonight, we step into the real Rome, not the one carved in marble, but the one built from dust, sweat, and silence. No emperors, no heroes, just ordinary people, waking in crumbling apartments, eating stale bread, surviving public shame, and walking streets stained with empire. This is the Rome that bled, the Rome that burned, and the Rome that endured. So lie back, let your mind drift, and listen closely. Episode 1: Waking Up in Rome. Before the marble, before the glory, there was the grind. Rome, eternal in legend, brutal in practice. Not the Rome of emperors or orators, but the Rome of the ordinary, where survival, not status, defines the day. The sun rises over a cramped, crumbling insula, a multi-story death trap masquerading as an apartment block. Its walls, half brick, half prayer, lean against each other like drunks at a tavern. On the upper floors, the higher, the poorer, rooms barely fit a man's outstretched arms. Stone walls sweat in summer and freeze in winter. There's no window, only a hole inviting in the smoke, the stench, and sometimes pigeons. The mattress is straw, the blanket regret. No furniture, no kitchen, no comfort, and no toilet. Chamber pots fill corners like shameful secrets. By morning, tenants tiptoe down rotting staircases, pots in hand, hoping not to slip into history or the street. Voices bleed through thin walls, arguments, prayers, coughs, the acoustics of suffering. Smoke drifts up from the baker's shop, the first hint of bread, but not for these tenants. Outside, street vendors shout their wares. Capital of civilization, beacon of empire. But step carefully, because the next stop is the latrina. Rome's version of a public restroom is less a place of relief, more a theater of humiliation. Picture a long stone bench, holes carved at even intervals. Beneath it, a narrow water channel sloshing just enough to carry waste away. Eventually. No doors, no partitions, no privacy. Men squat shoulder to shoulder like senators in disgrace discussing politics while defecating. Business transactions echo off the walls. Someone snacks on olives without breaking eye contact. There's a communal sponge on a stick, the tersorium, soaked in vinegar, shared by all. Rinsed, if one remembers, trusted only by the desperate. Hand washing? That's a modern fantasy. There is a basin, yes, but it's more ceremonial than sanitary. And don't think about sneaking into an alley. Public. Episode 3. Breakfast of the Forgotten. If breakfast is the most important meal of the day, no one told the Romans. For the common citizen, the morning meal is a grim affair. Stale bread and watered-down wine. If fortune favors, maybe a wedge of cheese. Maybe. Forget bacon, eggs, or hot porridge. Rome offers no coffee, no comfort. Just a brick of panis rusticus. Dense, dry, and likely baked days ago. It's less food, more edible obligation. The wine is weak by design, diluted so even children can sip it without incident. Drunkenness this early is frowned upon, unless you wear a toga with a purple stripe. There is no kitchen in the home. Cooking is banned indoors. Too many fires, too many bodies burned by breakfast. So citizens eat in the streets, crouched near fountains, gnawing at crusts like exhausted pigeons. A smear of garum, the infamously pungent fermented fish sauce, offers flavor, if not forgiveness. Episode 4. The Labor of Survival. Rome runs on ambition, but not yours. Unless you're a senator, a wealthy poet, or the heir to a dead uncle's vineyard, you're working. And you're working hard. Labor in the Roman Empire is not noble. It's necessary. You might be a porter, a potter, a bricklayer, or, if the gods truly despise you, a sewer cleaner. You rise before dawn, woken by barked orders and the stench of humanity. The foreman waits with a stick and no patience. Latecomers lose pay, or teeth. Tools are crude. Splintered shovels, rope slings, brittle carts. Protective gear? That's fiction. No gloves, no helmets, no mercy. Your safety net is your balance and your luck. You haul stone for temples, water for fountains, or bricks for buildings that won't remember your name. You work under a sun that doesn't care if you're bleeding. Even skilled tradesmen suffer. Artisans compete in a flooded market. One wrong glance at a rich client, and your day's work vanishes with his disapproval. Women labor too, weaving, grinding grain, selling herbs in the market, all while raising children and surviving. Episode 5. Chaos in the Streets. The streets of Rome, a marvel of engineering, drenched in chaos. They're paved with precision, but flooded with filth. Urine, wine, vomit, rotting food, animal droppings, and worse, flow in open channels through the city. Footpaths are narrow, raised, and crowded. Step off by mistake, and you baptize your sandals in the worst of civilization. There are no crosswalks, no lanes, no rules. Carts roar past, loaded with amphorae, timber, or screaming pigs. Drivers whip their mules like they're racing in the Circus Maximus. They do not stop. Children dash beneath baskets. Thieves work in teams. Stray dogs roam like ghosts of better-fed wolves. You move with the flow or get crushed. The air is thick with smoke from cooking fires, incense from temples, and the stench of public latrines. Dead animals sometimes lie where they fall, hidden under cloth or ignored entirely. And yet, this is Rome's heart. Loud, reckless, and alive. Markets spill into alleys, brawl. Its aqueducts are wonders, arched and elegant, carrying fresh mountain water into the city. But fresh doesn't mean clean, and clean doesn't mean safe. For the rich, private fountains bubble inside courtyards. For everyone else, there are public basins, crowded, overused, and questionably maintained. Children bathe where others dump feet, filth, or vegetables, and the pipes made of lead. Elegant, yes. Efficient, yes. Slowly toxic, absolutely. The Romans mastered infrastructure, but not chemistry. Over time, lead poisoning crept through the city like a slow curse. Anemia, infertility, madness, all from a daily drink. To stay safe, many turned to wine, watered down but safer. Episode 7. Bathing in Bacteria. The Romans bathed often, but not always well. The thermae, public bathhouses, are everywhere. Magnificent mosaics, heated floors, steam rooms, pools warm, cold, and tepid. A triumph of engineering and petri dishes of illness. There is no soap, no chlorine, just water passed from body to body, from sweat to skin. Communal basins, filthy tiles, modesty abandoned. Men scrubbed themselves with strigils, scraping oil and grime into the pool. Conversations echo, politics, gossip, or arguments about stolen sandals. One man cleans his ears with a stick. Another offers socks. Someone sneezes into the shared towel. Yet this is culture, civility, progress. And beneath it all, bacteria swims freely. Episode 8: The Price of Pain. Pain is constant in Rome. Treatment is rare. Stub a toe, walk it off. Break a bone, tie it up. Lose a limb, try not to scream. There's no anesthetic. Medicine is a blend of Greek theory and superstition. 4 humors rule the body: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, black bile. Imbalance? The solution is simple. Drain something. Bloodletting, leeches, vinegar on wounds, surgery without sedation. Doctors are often barbers, scribes, or men with knives and confidence. There are tools, scalpels, drills, forceps, but no sterilization, no gloves, no concept of infection. Dental work? A chisel and a prayer. Childbirth? A coin toss. Stoicism reigns. Pain is noble. Complaining is weakness. Soldiers march on scorpion bites. Women give birth beside fires with chants, not medicine. Episode 9: Dinner in the Empire. Dinner in ancient Rome is not a feast, it's a reminder. For the poor, it begins at dusk with a wooden bowl of pulse, a bland porridge of lentils or grain, warm, thick, and tragically familiar. If luck strikes, there's a shred of dried cheese or a bruised fig. Meat is rare, salted beyond recognition or marinated in garum, Rome's infamous fermented fish sauce. It smells like a crime scene and tastes like one too. The wealthy dine differently. Flamingo, stuffed dormice, jellyfish soaked in vinegar, culinary theater. Not for taste, but to prove they can. Wine flows, always diluted. Drinking it pure is considered barbaric. The water it's mixed with? Still suspect. There are no forks, no napkins, no plates, just hands, shared cloths, and bread used as a... Episode 10: Blood and Spectacle. Evening in Rome. The empire feeds its people, not with bread, but blood. The Colosseum is the stage. Gladiators clash beneath a hot sun. Men bleed for cheers. Criminals are mauled by lions for justice. Sometimes full naval battles are staged with real ships, real water, and real drowning. Admission? Free, because the state needs you distracted. The theater offers comedies with obscene punchlines and tragedies with exaggerated death scenes. Subtlety is optional. Volume is not. Then there's the Circus Maximus, chariot races at breakneck speed. Crashes are inevitable. fatal and wildly popular. Gambling is rampant, so is violence. Support the wrong team, and you might not walk home. Street entertainment fills the gaps. Fire breathers, acrobats, drunken philosophers, fights that start with dice and end with daggers. Rome doesn't entertain. Episode 11. Roman Justice. Roman law is carved in stone, but justice is carved in fear. Citizens have rights on paper. Trials are public theater full of bribes, patronage, and accusations shouted louder than reason. If you're wealthy, you arrive with witnesses, lawyers, and influence. If you're poor, you arrive with prayers. Non-citizens? Little protection. Enslaved people? None. Punishments are not about reform. They're about spectacle. Thieves may lose fingers, liars their tongues, rebels their lives, slowly and publicly. Crucifixion is common. It's not rare. It's routine. Slaves suffer collectively. If one murders a master, the entire household may be executed. Justice by example. The vigiles, Rome's night watch, are understaffed, underpaid, and often corrupt. Protectors, when paid, Episode 12. Gods, Shrines, and Fear. Religion in Rome isn't faith, it's obligation. The gods are everywhere, over doors, beneath sewers, inside street corners. There's a deity for hinges, boundaries, mildew, even manure. Miss a shrine, offend a spirit, your house collapses and the neighbors say, well, he skipped the offering. Festivals shut the city down. Sacrifices paint the stones red. Priests chant. Crowds cheer. And the gods watch. Distant, silent, easily angered. The emperor? Also divine. You must worship him, or at least pretend. Fail to smile during a triumph parade, and you risk your life. Foreign cults? Dangerous. Suspicion breeds like mold. Silence during prayer is suspicious. Absence during ritual? Even worse. Roman religion is not about belief, it's performance, ritual, timing, precision. Episode 13. Climbing the Roman Ladder. In Rome, ambition is currency, and the ladder is greased with blood and flattery. At the top, senators, draped in purple-trimmed togas, their land stretching beyond horizons. Below them, the equestrians, wealthy but not noble. Then come the plebeians, the ordinary, the expendable. Beneath that, freedmen, slaves, foreigners, and at the bottom, silence. Upward movement isn't earned, it's bought with favors, alliances, and praise. Enter the salutatio. Each morning, the client visits the patron, a line of desperate men at a nobleman's door, begging for coins, jobs, or crumbs of influence. Compliments flow like wine, sincerity optional. If the patron is pleased, you might carry his litter or speak his name in the forum. But never rise too fast. Ambition offends. Envy poisons. Marriage is rarely for love. It's strategy. Episode 14. Nightfall in the Empire. When the sun sets over Rome, safety sets with it. There are no street lights, only moonlight, flickering oil lamps, and darkness thick with danger. The vigiles patrol, tired men with buckets and bad tempers. Fire is their true fear. A single dropped lamp in a wooden insula could erase an entire district by dawn. But they can't be everywhere. Thieves thrive. Cut purses, vandals, the occasional drunken ex-gladiator with nothing left to lose. Women walk only in groups, if at all. Even nobles risk insult, attack, or worse. The alleys become hunting grounds. Noise echoes through stone, drunken parties, cult processions, the barking of dogs, the screams of someone whose name no one will remember. Sleep doesn't come easy. Rats scratch the walls. Floors creak like Episode 15. The Empire endures. And then dawn. Rome awakens, not like a flower, but like a forge. Hot, loud, relentless. Another day begins. Yesterday you dodged carts, drank lead, shared a sponge, labored without rest, bowed to gods you don't trust, and survived the night by luck alone. But so did millions before you, because Rome, despite the grime, the pain, the rot, worked. It built, it ruled, it endured. Its roads still shape continents. Its laws echo through modern courts. Its language roots the very words you're hearing now. Not because of emperors or monuments, but because of people like this, ordinary, expendable, nameless, who lived, endured, suffered, and persisted. Rome was not made of marble. It was made of sweat, of lead, of sacrifice. And in every dark corridor, every cursed stairwell, every forgotten street, the Empire breathes.